The annual Social Security adjustment often sounds like a simple percentage announced in the news, yet behind that single number lies a much larger story about inflation, purchasing power, and the economic forces that shape retirement income across the United States. Every year, millions of retirees wait for the cost of living adjustment, commonly known as the COLA, hoping it will help keep pace with rising prices. What many people do not realize is that this adjustment is not chosen by Congress or decided through a vote. Instead, it is calculated using a formula based on inflation data collected over several months, meaning the final increase reflects broader economic conditions rather than individual financial needs. As inflation changes, so does the purchasing power of every dollar received through Social Security. If prices for groceries, housing, healthcare, and transportation rise faster than benefits, retirees effectively lose spending power even if their monthly checks become slightly larger. On the other hand, when inflation slows, the adjustment also becomes smaller, because the formula is designed to measure price growth rather than maintain a particular standard of living. For the upcoming adjustment, analysts are currently projecting a COLA in the range of approximately 3.6% to 3.8%, although the official figure will not be announced until October after the required inflation data is finalized. These are estimates, not guaranteed values, and the final percentage could change depending on inflation during the remaining measurement period. To understand why this matters, imagine a retiree receiving $2,000 per month in Social Security benefits. A 3 to 4% adjustment would increase that payment by roughly $70 to $80 each month before any Medicare premium, changes, or taxes are considered. While that increase may appear meaningful at first glance, its real value depends entirely on how much everyday expenses increase over the same period. This highlights one of the most important ideas in personal finance. Income should never be viewed only in nominal dollars. The real question is what those dollars can actually buy. Economists refer to this as purchasing power, and it explains why a larger monthly payment does not automatically mean a higher standard of living. Another important factor is healthcare. Many retirees notice that increases in Medicare premiums can offset part of a Social Security increase. Even when benefits rise, higher medical costs may reduce the amount that ultimately reaches a beneficiary's bank account. Financial planning therefore requires looking at both income and expenses together rather than focusing on one number alone. The Social Security adjustment also illustrates how interconnected the economy really is. Inflation affects consumers, businesses, interest rates, government budgets, and retirement benefits simultaneously. A change in energy prices, housing costs, or wage growth eventually becomes part of a much larger economic chain that influences millions of retirement checks across the country. Looking at history provides additional perspective. Some years have produced exceptionally large COLAs because inflation accelerated rapidly, while other years delivered much smaller adjustments as inflation cooled. These differences remind us that the adjustment is designed to reflect changing prices rather than guarantee improvements in financial well-being. Understanding this system changes the way many people view retirement planning. Instead of relying solely on annual adjustments, experienced planners often think in terms of maintaining purchasing power over decades. That means considering inflation, healthcare costs, taxes, savings, investment risk, and spending habits together, rather than treating any single adjustment as the complete solution. The annual Social Security adjustment is therefore much more than a headline percentage. It represents an ongoing effort to preserve the value of retirement benefits within an economy that is constantly changing. Whether next year's final adjustment ends slightly above or below current projections, the underlying lesson remains the same. Long-term financial security depends not only on how much income you receive, but also on how effectively that income keeps pace with the real cost of living.